Hello, everybody. This is Ken Faulkner. It's time for the last brand battle, guys. We've been doing this for a while, going through the larger number of knives in one brand in my collection. Man, it was ridiculous. You know how some YouTubers will set up the knives on their end like this, so you won't tell what it is until they show you. You know, I used to mess around with it. I just thought I'd do it on this one. But I think you guys all know. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know. And you look at this view. I mean, look over here. It's pretty clear what brand we're talking about. I mean, I'm not fooling anybody. So anyway, I was thinking this. I'm trying to set them up, and it's like dominoes. And I'm setting them up, and one falls over, and they all fall over. My girlfriend's going, "Are you doing that video yet?" It's so funny. So funny. Anyway, so they're probably going to domino down as we're going. But here we are. The last one, clearly, it's Spyderco. I was looking at my collection because I know that it expanded. The Spyderco overtook Kaiser this year. And I was looking at it, and in the year 2025, I bought 6 Spydercos this year. And the year's not over yet. They can still get more. But I got 6. Total number here is 21, so that's almost 1/3 of the collection in just the last year. And I've been really enjoying it. Got some great knives, really great knives. So we're gonna go through these just like we have been doing. We'll see how long this one takes because it's 21 knives. That's a lot of knives, a lot of Spydercos. And this is going to be a hard one. I don't know who's going to win. I kind of got some ideas, but when I'm doing this brand battle thing and I pick one at the end, the thing is that I love these knives for all different reasons. Every knife here, I have a certain reason I love it. And then the question gets to the only way I can pick it, right? The only way you can pick is you can say, well, which one of those things about these knives is more important to me? And of course it could just be today, and things could change tomorrow, and all the other stuff that goes along with it. But yeah, it's the way it's going. So if I don't pick your favorite, it's not like I'm trying to say, oh, is so inferior to this other knife. Not everybody's going to like knives for the same reasons I do. And that's great. I have always said I love that. I would never say, oh, well, my opinion is, the opinion. I know too many people like that, and they annoy the heck out of me when they think that they are the ones that are the arbiter of all things opinion, that their opinion is so much more valid than anybody else's. And no, that's not me. I am very much against that sort of thing. But I do believe everybody should have an opinion. It's important because you're spending your money with knives, so it's important. You don't want to just go randomly spending money, and it doesn't matter how much money you're spending. Yeah, you can be spending budget type, or you can be getting premium type, but you should really think about it, obviously, and it's going to change over time. I know mine has. And so, do decide what you like. Do challenge yourself and say, hey, maybe I like this. Maybe now I like smaller knives. I always liked bigger knives before, but now I'm not saying that I don't like bigger knives, obviously. Still do. But I've definitely gotten more fonder, and they got some cool ones from this year that are smaller ones. And we're going to start out with the smallest of the small. This may be the smallest Spyderco knife. I don't know. It could be. I could be wrong. They have all kinds of knives. You've seen me cut through that catalog, tearing out the sheets for cutting paper, and the massive catalog. They have so many knives. So this one's the Bug, and it's a slip joint. So this is my only slip joint from Spyderco. And I got it because I wanted to carry a Spyderco on my keychain with me wherever I go. I want to have Spyderco always with me when I leave the house. So it's on my car keys, and that's almost always going to be with me. So Um, Obviously took it off for the video. Actually, I had to take it off for going to the fair, and I haven't put it back on. I need to do that because you go through the metal detectors and all that. I do not want to lose knives. I've lost them before in metal detector lines and stuff like that, and I do not like it, and I am very careful about it. You can see the little spider slash tick on there. This one's well worn in. Anytime you put something on a keychain, it's definitely going to get worn in. But it does have an edge on it. No cut test tonight. This is too much, but I can feel it. I can feel it. It's biting into my fingernail. That's like one. You can see a little. So I probably sharpened it up at one point. Maybe I was just bored at work and I thought, hey, I'm gonna grab out. I carry a strop and a Worksharp field sharpener in my backpack to work, and every once in a while, I get bored. And I just need a break, and I'll strop up a knife, or I'll maybe throw it on the stone, just a little bit, ceramic, whatever. Anyway, so the Bug, it's all stainless steel, and I think, what's the steel on this thing? 3CR13. Ooh, fabulous. So it's so easy to sharpen and so easy to get dull too. But this one doesn't cut a lot of stuff, so it's pretty. It's got an edge on it right now, so that's cool. So that's the Bug. And then the next one is an unusual one. I don't know how many fixed blades they have. I think they have a few. I saw this one and I go, God, it's so inexpensive. Now the Bug is only $21, but you can kind of see why it's $21. But this one's $49. Now, there's a lot of knives, a lot of great knives you can get for $50, right? But a Spyderco, you don't always see that. And I do like a leather sheath. I mean, Kydex has kind of taken over the market, right? And I do enjoy Kydex as well, but I do like a leather sheath. This knife is a little bit too long for me to do the appendix on, so I'll hang it down off the belt. And nice knife, really thin geometry. We're talking also an 8CR 13 MOV blade. So nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. Very thin. You're probably not going to be doing a lot of. I've done like fatwood and like getting the curls from fatwood with this, but you're not going to go and hammer on it. What do you call that? I've forgotten that before. When you're splitting the log. I forget what it's called. Anyway, you get that big piece of wood and you bash on it, and I don't know. I know what it is. Believe me, I do know what it is. But these things slip my brain. So we got the sheath with the spider. We're just gonna call it the spider. I know it doesn't really look like a real spider, but it is Spyderco. Oh, and it does. By the way, both of these knives so far, they carry the tradition. They have the hole. Completely useless. I suppose you could use it to lash it. You can put like a lanyard through that and lash it to your arm. So when you're batoning, that's the word. When you're batoning and the blade goes flying out of your hand, you got that lash around your wrist, and it won't get lost. So anyway, but it's cool. I love the fact that they do that. They put those holes and everything. I mean, you're not going to be spider flicking this guy. But it does help with the slip jointness of it, right? You can grab a hold of it. It's almost like a little nail nick, right? This was my girlfriend's, and it's the cat, and she loves cats, and that is why I had to get it for her, because I want her to love knives, and she does to a certain extent. I mean, she's been to Blade Show twice, right? It's a lot of knife collectors out there, people who are really into knife collecting that haven't been to Blade Show once or even twice, and she's been there twice. Of course, you know why she's going. But yeah, so this is her cat. It's a little guy. Works really well for her. I mean, she's opening boxes. She's always getting in the drawer, getting out a knife to open up a box or a package or whatever. She will use scissors when a perfectly good knife would do that task, but she doesn't quite get that. But if you know, if you're like always looking for something to cut, you know what I'm saying. This has got the G10, and this one is the BD1N, which is kind of down in that range. BD1N, I think it's kind of like a D2 from some other country or something like that. I don't know. It's not the highest, not the most sought after steel. Taiwan. This one's made in Taiwan. We should talk about that. I mean, all the different places. I don't know if this one says. It almost always say. I think this one's a China though. It says something here. I'm pretty sure that this was made in China. Oh, I can look on the spreadsheet. It is in China. So this is a China. This guy here is a China. But this is a Taiwan. So, you know, I think we all kind of agree, all of us that kind of know Spyderco, that Taiwan gets a higher quality. Their shop over there does really great work. So this is a Taiwan. The cat. Not sure why they call it that, but they do. Now we're getting into some lightweights. I got the Delica. That's a classic. It's a lockback. So a little bit harder to fidget with, but if you get used to it, you can do it. And it's a different kind of fidget, so it's fun, right? It's like a different skill set as far as fidget is concerned. Boy, speaking of, oops, sorry. Speaking of, I hope that wasn't too loud, especially you guys that listen with earphones. Oh man, I really apologize for that. If you watch Behind the Edge, Nick over there, he's got a story to tell about fidgeting and why he's never going to fidget again. Well, I you know, he was fidgeting on the camera while he was saying that, but it's just that mindless, just sitting there and fidgeting without thinking about it that he's talking about. But I don't want to give it away totally. I'm definitely not going to tell the story. You let him do it. Go check out his channel. He's got a video recently where he put that out. So it's the Delica 4. Your steel on this one, I think it's a VG10, right? Yep, VG10 backlock. This was made in Japan. A lot of the lightweights with the backlocks, I've noticed, are coming out of Japan. And a lot of them are VG10. Speaking of which, we got another VG10 here. A little bit bigger version. It's a little, as you get bigger with the lockbacks, it is easier to fidget with because the blade's a little bit heavier and it'll drop a little bit better. And yeah, so this is a very cool one. This was given to me by oh man, horrible, by Freedom Frog, the man himself gave me this guy. Now, once I'm starting to put all these guys out, some of these are pretty big. I don't know how well they're going to show up on the camera. We've got 21 knives. This is like one of Casey's what he got in this week things, and unusual for my collection. But it is a different edge. It is a, did I say this last one? Was it an Endura 4? So Delica 4, Endura 4. This one's VG10. This is a K390. And I needed to try that out and find out what K390 is all about. Because again, Nick, over Behind the Edge, is a huge fan. And I have so much respect for him as a knife collector and sharpener and all those things, and he really loves K390. He's big on the edge retention, and it is one of his favorite steels for sure. So I had to pick one of these guys up. So I figured, go ahead and get the Wharncliffe and get the K390. There it is, Domino's Endura 4. So 2 Endura 4s, but one's a Wharncliffe and one is a drop. I guess it's a drop point. It's your standard Spyderco. Gotta maybe put some oil on that guy, because K390 is definitely a high carbon steel, and you gotta make sure you keep an eye on it and keep it oiled up. This one is the Matriarch 2. So they always got these numbers and things. Man, they've been around for a long time, and some people collect like older ones that you can't get anymore. I think that's so cool. This is a fun one. They have another one that's even longer than this. I can't remember what it's called, but so very much a self-defense knife. And it's not something right at first, that was the reason why I started carrying every day, to have for self-defense. But then as I realized, as I carried for a while, I started to really realize that they are even better as a tool and very cool to fidget with. And I just love them. It's like man's oldest tool, basically. Maybe next to the rock or something like that. But they sharpened a rock and then it was a knife. So it's just part about being a human being is having knives and loving knives. I mean, it's as simple as that. And anybody that doesn't love knives is just fighting against nature. I said it. I stand by it. That's what I really believe. Tenacious. I used to have the regular Tenacious, the one with the G10. I picked this one up, and it's got, the other one is the 8CR. This one is an M4 steel. M4 steel. By the way, the Matriarch, that one was, let's see if that's a Japan. That's still a Japan. Yep. Tenacious now, we're back to China for the Tenacious. Even for the M4 version, they made that. And I think it's the liner locks tend to be the Chinese made. Maybe they just know those much better than anybody else. Maybe the lockbacks are better known by the Japanese factory that they have. But yeah, M4 steel. That's very cool. So I was really excited about it. It did come with, I can't remember if it was a lightweight or if it was G10. I think it might have been a lightweight. But anyway, I picked up the titanium scales. I think these are Flytanium. And I've really been enjoying getting aftermarket scales from my Spydercos. It's fun. And yeah, just dressing them up, giving them a little extra something. Later on, I'll show you one of my lightweights that I did that with. I haven't done it with these guys yet. But I think I'm going to do more of that, as well as getting more Spydercos for sure. But anyway, M4. So another great steel with great edge retention. And it's on a Tenacious. I always thought, like I said, my first Spyderco that I bought was a Tenacious. And I love that knife. I think it's a great knife. It's a good size. Probably, I would consider it a full size. I mean, yeah. It's a big knife. It really is. I was super happy with it for the longest time. Until some of the other ones came along and, But now I got the M4 version, so I can be proud of it again. So there you go. So let's put this guy over here with the little cat. Cat and the bug. Okay, Tenacious. Now we got a cat. Now we got a dog, but it's called the Pochi, not the Poochie. You would think it would be called the Poochie, but it's the Pochi. Oh, wow, it flicked out that whole time. S45VN steel. CPM S45VN. Titanium handles. A frame lock. I believe it's all titanium. Titanium, even this. All this stuff is titanium. I think this might be G10. This little pivot thing. But it's a crazy little fun guy. Fun knife. Definitely not going to be number one, but look at this. It's got this little cool little, Spyderco, little millings there. Spyderco will team up. I can't remember the name of the designer. I should put that on my spreadsheet, but he's a Japanese guy, and he is knife designer that has designed other knives after animals. And I read up about him, and then I forgot because that's the way my mind works. But anyway, the Pochi. I know I like that. I'm never going to forget that. It's very cool, and I still remember the name of the knife, so that's good. So that's the Pochi. Some of these aren't serious, right? The Bug and the Pochi are not serious knives, but they are fun. So I love having them in my collection. There we go, man. Manix 2. Manix 2 with a ball bearing lock. So we're getting something that stands out because it's different. Interesting jimping the way they did it here on the outsides of the of whatever this is. It's not really the spring. It's the housing that holds the ball bearing lock. We're talking about S30V, so now we're down to that very traditional Spyderco, especially the USA made, and I think this one is our first USA, because the Pochi is a Japanese designer, but actually it's made in Taiwan. So this is the first one out of USA, Manix 2, and that's where you're getting a lot of the S30V. So you see kind of like groupings of stuff. And great knife. A lot of people, this is like their favorite Spyderco. And I could see why. It's got all those cool features as we're getting into this USA made with that forward finger choil. You know I like the locked in knife. You know I like it when it's in my hand and it's not going anywhere. I'm all about that. I like a forward finger choil. And this one actually doesn't really turn right into the blade. You get the little nub there in between. Sometimes that nub can be a problem when you're talking about compression lock, but this one is not going to be a problem. So S30V, CPM S30V, great knife. I thought about getting the XL version, but then I kind of researched it a little bit. I kind of had that opinion that bigger is better, but I researched it. I took some time, thought about it. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes I'm impulse buying, but this time I did kind of look at it and think about it, and decided that I wanted to get the regular size one because some people say the big one's just too hard to actuate that ball bearing lock with. So it's a great size. It works really well. Very fidgety. Maybe a little harder to actuate than some knives. I like it that it kind of tapers out a little bit, so it helps when you're doing the pullback. That's the main thing. Obviously, flicking it out works really well. And yeah, I mean, it fidgets quite well. Now we are getting into more American madeness with the Crucarta PM2, Paramilitary 2. They got a lot of these military types, and they have a cool shape that I really like. It's similar with the Tenacious because you're starting to see that thumb ramp there. I really like the thumb ramp. I think it's awesome. I think some of the blades, like the Manix 2, kind of look a little bit better without there, but they at least have the jimping up there. But anyway, it locks you in. Like I say, I love a lock-in, and that really locks you in, keeping you from sliding up on the blade or anything like that. Still a nub here. This one does not interfere with the compression lock. You can see it down there, but it doesn't come up above the little cutout for the access to the compression lock. This one I did get a Lynch clip for because it came with the micarta, and I've heard that you really can't get. It's a different kind of liner on this one. It's like a full liner, whereas the other one is inset. So the aftermarket scales don't work with it, but I love this micarta. It's so good, I wouldn't want to change it anyway. So I ended up changing out the clip. So that's my first one with the clip change out that I did myself. I do have another one coming up. We're moving along. We're going to the second row. Second row at 23 minutes. Working on the speed, but there's a lot of knives and they're all awesome. But we're back to a PM2 again, and this one got even more dressing. I did keep the old clip, didn't change it out. Probably should think about that. I might get some kind of clip for this one. It would be fun to put another clip on this one. Because I have these really cool Flytanium scales. I forget what they call this one. There's a name they have for it. Somebody's going to put it in the comments. The Fade or something like that. Crossfade, maybe. I think it's the Crossfade. So yeah, it still has that great Spyderco. We're talking S45VN. No slouch in the material, the blade material at all. But it's not crew wear like this one. This is the Crucarta with the crew wear. So I think the crew wear kind of trumps the 45, but they're close. They're both really good. And this one does have those cool titanium. What happened is I took this apart at one point, and then when I put it back together, it never was the same. It was it's still a little play, but there was a lot of play. And I figured out that I put it together wrong. Something in the pivot has to be a certain way to really pop into place. And I was so happy when I fixed that I said, I got to put something good on this one. This is one of my early ones. The Tenacious obviously was my first, but this may have been my second Spyderco. I wouldn't be surprised because I know that everybody, talks. Well, a lot of people talk big about the PM2 and how it's just a classic. And now I have two of them, so that's that. And this one does have the liner inset, so the way Titanium makes these things, they work really well around the liners. So you just use the existing liners in with the titanium. So very, very cool. Still love this one, even though I got the Crew Carta. I still love this one. I don't know if we're gonna be going. No, I guess we're not going off the camera. Trying to show the whole collection here. All right, let's keep on moving. I don't know if the bug is still in view or not. I think it is. Yeah, I think you see it. The way my camera is held, I can't. It covers part of the screen, so I can't see everything. Anyway, I could go back out a little bit. Okay, so Yojimbo. So this time I did go big. This was early buy too. This has the cool, very, 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 very grippy G10. USA Earth again. Yojimbo. I really got into carrying knives because of Martial Blade's concept. It was I went to, trained in martial arts, and I ended up going to this seminar. And it wasn't Michael Janich, it was somebody who had learned under him. But it was at a gun store near here and out in the back of it, and we did all the cool moves. So really well thought out. I mean, coming from martial arts and understanding the way the techniques are done is really, really cool. So anyway, this was designed by Michael Janich as the Yojimbo, and then they made the Yojimbo. And it's just designed to cut well. I mean, he did lots of testing to see what would be best. This hollow grind is sick. It's so cool. S30V. When I bought this one, I didn't care about steels so much, but I know S30V is a good steel. I mean, I didn't know at the time. I just knew Spyderco was a cool knife. So this is all stock. Nothing changed on this one, but it is very cool. It does have a little nub issue. Maybe I should get a OCD for EDC compression made easy CME to help with that. But I kind of figured out my way around it, so I can fidget with it pretty well, and it's fine. And I haven't broken off the tip, so obviously I haven't dropped it too bad. That is one thing about this knife. That tip is quite out there, and it does get quite thin with the hollow. Fortunately, knock on wood, I'm still good with the tip here. All right, we're going to continue on. The next one is a classic, a well-known, the Smock. One of the very few Spydercos that will have a flipper tab. And again, we got that hollow grind. So USA Earth, I mentioned that, S30V. Now this one here, the Smock is going to come in with the S30V. And it is also going to have, let's see, where's the Smock made? USA as well. Let's see what it says here. CPM S30V, Smock. Again, they're going with a great designer, Kevin Smock. Is that right? Is it Kevin? I know Smock's his last name. Me and names. Peel ply, but it is the grippy kind. So if I'm going to get peel ply, I do want to have the grippy kind. And then this one does have that button lock. So it's using compression technology, but it's using a button to operate it. So we're talking about like the top liner locks, right? Or the compression button locks. This is where it came from. And I guess the patent ran out and everybody started doing it. Interesting sharpening choil on this one, definitely. You could kind of choke up on it, but you can also go on the flat. But it's a big knife. It's full size. It's not so tall this way for a Spyderco because most of them are so tall. The hole is a little bit smaller because it is more narrow, but you can still get in there and do that middle finger flick. You know, I love that. Thumb's a little bit harder because it's such a small hole. But yeah, great knife. Just a classic. It's wonderful. And it has a flipper tab. Does this one have front? No, it doesn't do a front flipper, just a flipper tab. Okay, moving on. Got to finish this sometime. We're up to 30, and we're getting there. Bodacious, very recent. Talked about a lot about this already because it was very recent. Spy 27. A little bit of oil on here, so we'll get that cleaned up. Spy 27, which is very cool. I really like the scales on this one. It's G10, but they're smooth. But they feel like a little bit of texture. It's tactile, and it feels really good in the hand. It locks in, you know, not as drastic as some of the other ones, but it definitely locks in because it's got some shape there. Got those curves. I like the curves. I'm into it. This does have the non-thumb ramp, but it is super grabby. It just, you get near it and it reaches out and just grabs your thumb. It's really good. Like this knife. You know, I always wanted one. Thought they were a little costly. I got a good deal on this one, so you know, I was happy. It's better than I thought it was going to be. It really is better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I had a smock, so why bother to get in this one? But it's a different creature, especially with the smock that I have, and we'll show that in just a minute. But Bodacious. If you want more information on it, you can go back to my video on it because it wasn't that long ago. That's one of my more recent purchases. Military 2. So we got the PM2 and the Military 2. You can go back to the video on this one too. Been thinking about whether I need to matchy it up or not. Or maybe I'll get a different clip. Or maybe I'll just leave it like it is. But yeah, I had the PM2 and I wanted the Military 2 and I wanted to get the Crucarda, and I thought that this was what it was, and I wasn't paying because I was shopping and I was trying to find the best price, trying to be you know, due diligence and all that kind of stuff. They are very similar, so in the picture I couldn't tell. If I had stopped and just read it, I would have known. But yeah, I bought it, came in, and realized that it wasn't the Military, it was the PM2. So I knew at the time, and I did the video when I got that PM2, that I was going to get this one, and I ended up finding a deal on it. You know, when there's a sale, I'm a sucker for a sale. You got to do it. If I could never pay full price, I would. But then there's some of these knives that I just have to have. So anyway, Military 2, not to be confused with the Paramilitary 2. Don't do it, because people will get on you. Or just like the Para 3. Don't call it the Paramilitary 3. Or don't call the PM2 the Para 2. I don't know. I haven't seen people lose their minds on that recently, but there was a time. There was a time when people were pretty excited about that. I'll try to get this on in the camera. There you go. Long knife. I really like that. I love the fact that Spyderco is not afraid to do like a monsterly long knife. Not necessarily huge, gigantic knife. I mean, the Jumbo is pretty big, but long. Gives you some reach. You can get back here if you want, and you get some extra reach. If you're talking about self-defense, reach is a big deal. I'm telling you, it's a big deal. But if you're cutting, you can get up here and choke up, and it's just like any other knife. But it is a long blade. I think it's probably 4 inches. I can't remember exactly, but I think it's like 4. So you can see how far I have to kind of bring the butt of that down in between these other knives in order to get it in the frame. Okay, this one's cool. I won this one on a giveaway. This is another one that the man, the myth, the excellent maker of giveaways, Top Dog himself, put this one together, and it was one of those boxes, and I got it, and man, very cool. It was not on my radar. I'd never seen this one before. It's the Caribbean. It's very cool. I'm pretty sure it's a Salt series. I'm almost 100% sure about that. It's not MagnaCut because they weren't doing it back then as MagnaCut. It is the, let's get up to the Caribbean. Okay, so Caribbean is LC200N. So that's what they used to make all their salt series out of. So it's got kind of that rounded front so you don't stab yourself while you're in the water and then all the sharks come get you. But it does have a great edge for cutting yourself loose of anything that might be grabbing you when you're underwater. Also good, you know, if you're fishing or whatever like that. I mean, it's just going to be a good knife for that kind of thing. It's a good knife in general, and it's unique because of that scale. It is G10, but it is just very unique. So it's very grippy. It feels really good in the hand, and it's a fun one. And it's LC200N, so I don't have to worry about oiling this one, you know, unless I want to. So we gotta move some stuff over because we're not trying to drag this out too long, but really got to make room for the rest of these knives. Okay, I think I got side to side room so I can move things down. Okay, next, another small one, Sage 5. Yeah, I've been wanting to get Para 3 for a while, but the Sage 5 is about the same size, and it does have that other shape, that leaf shape, and I do like the leaf shape. And this one also, not only is the leaf shape, but it is in Rex 121. Very, very good with the edge retention on Rex 121. So I got that opportunity. I picked it up, and I went to the AWT Advanced Weapons Tech, I believe it is. I grabbed there, and I love this color. It's very cool in the feel of it. This one was a lightweight, and they had specific aftermarket scales for lightweight knives. So it's very cool. It's got the wire clip and everything, which I have no problem with. Compression lock for a tiny little knife is a little bit difficult to manipulate sometimes. But man, great knife. It feels so much better after getting these scales on here. I'm not so mad at the FRN coming from Spyderco. I think they do an excellent job with their FRN. But this one, you know, was a few bucks. 230 about. A few bucks. I actually got a deal on it though, so I didn't pay full price. So yeah. But anyway. It's not a cheap knife, so I felt like it needed something. I felt like I needed a little TLC, so I got those Advanced Weapon Tech, and you can see the milling on there. It's very cool. It's aluminum, not titanium, aluminum, but very, very cool. All right, and we're almost at 40 minutes. Okay, so I had to get a little bit creative on this one to do the on its side thing. I had to take one of my foam pieces from that new foam that I got from my storage case, because this one will not stand up on its side. And I had to will it to do it by getting that foam out. I actually had it sitting around anyway. Seems like those foam pieces just are around everywhere. So this is the Carahawk, and it is not a cheap knife. 244 bucks. Or no, Carahawk is 261 is what I have on my spreadsheet. It is very cool in that it has the wave feature. You see a few, they have some PM2s with that wave feature. This one works so great because of the fact you clip it in your pocket and this loop is sticking out. I don't mind things sticking out of my pocket as long as it's not getting in my way. And then you reach over and grab this thing and pull it out of your pocket, and it grabs it and it's out. Oops. And it shakes the camera, and then you got it in your hand and you're ready to go for whatever package you need to open up. It's got the patent for the Emerson on here. It's got the number on there. I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep that patent, or if it's up yet or not. This one is from Japan, and it's a killer little knife. I mean, from my martial arts time, I did a little Filipino martial arts, and so, you know, this is kind of like a Filipino or Malaysian background. And it's a cool knife, and I have a few trainers. I've swung this around and have it stab into my arm a little bit sometimes. So I don't really flick this around so much. I don't feel like confident enough to use it as a fighting knife, but I just like the concept of it. It's that karambit sort of thing. So let's get this here and move on because we're almost done. We're on to the shaman. Oh yes, the shaman. That was such the grail for me. I wanted that shaman so bad. And I finally got an opportunity to pick up one, but not just any one. Not just any shaman. This is the 15V, the Big Brown Bear. Yes, it is. So cool. Now this one got all pimped out before I ended up getting it. Clip, the Rip Garage Tech scales, titanium, just amazing. I added the CME because this one has the nub from hell. It is definitely gets in the way, and this one fidgets so much better now that I got the CME on there. I kind of wish I'd gotten the titanium one. It's my first one that I bought, and I just didn't know. So I mean, if this ever falls off, or I decide to take it off and I'll get the titanium one and make it even better. But it's great. I mean, the gray matches pretty well. It's not too bad at all. Works really great. I love the shaman. It's so thick. I mean, for a Spyderco, that's such a thick blade. I like a thick, sturdy, heavy-duty blade. I love slicing stuff as well, but ultimately, I'm a big on a heavy-duty, thick blade. All right, we're almost done with the collection, and then we got to get into the battle. So we're running long. I knew I was going to do it, but I couldn't cut it short because Spyderco is so awesome. This one is the Swish Bowie. The Slish Bowie. I always thought it was swish, like, basketball. Swish. Until I actually got it and realized that the designer, Marcin Slish, is a Polish designer. And I actually am on his Instagram. You can check it out. He's got some really cool knives. But you can see his design style in this. And it is... I always thought it was a little odd for a Spyderco, but I got the opportunity to pick it up, and man, I love this knife. I really love it. Wire clip, frame lock. It's a little bit tricky getting your finger in for the middle finger flick, but I willed myself to learn how to do it. But it does work well with the thumb, especially when you're not on a camera. Oh, you hear that? Man, because it's had this big cutout here for the hole on this side. But the other side's got the lock bar, so you really couldn't do that. You'd be cutting your lock bar down to almost nothing. But you can still get in there and get it, but it just doesn't have that clack, that real loud clack sound. Well, I got it that time. Nice knife. Nice design. All right. So, yeah, we got to get through this pretty quick because it's we're almost to 45. We're going to get rid of the bug. We're going to get rid of the cat. We'll get into details when we start getting up to the premiums here. But the Bow River, I think at least the Endura and the VG10 version of the Endura. Did I say it? This is the Delica, I meant the Delica. Maybe we'll leave this guy out. This guy's just a little strange. It was done for fun, but it doesn't make it up to the level. Tenacious, yeah, it is the Tenacious, the liner lock. That's the only reason. The M4 is awesome, and I do love those scales. They're very, very nice. But we're gonna put that over the side. Pochi is very cool, but yeah, it's not practical. It's not practical. It's fun. Funnest one on the table as far as just cuteness and stuff, but yeah. Manix 2, very much a lot of people's #1. For me, it really is a great knife, and I love it. And so don't get mad at me, but yeah, it's just not, there's just too many good ones up here. Crew Carta PM2. I think because I have the Military 2 and Crew Carta, and I already had a PM2 that was my original that I love so much. I think this is going to the side. Yeah, we're going to keep these guys. We'll keep the smock for now. I'm not sure. Bodacious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I told you this is going to be really hard. Okay, Caribbean definitely is going to go. I like a knife with a good tip, and this doesn't have it. But it's still a great knife, and I love the design, everything about that, but it's going to go to the side. Sage 5 is going to stay out. It's small but mighty. It's staying out. Care Hawk is a little bit of a niche thing. It's a niche, if I pronounce it correctly. I love this one. I've had this one a long, long time, and I love it. You can see the wear on the clip. This is well loved knife, but it's going to the side. Smock has got to stay out, has to stay out, and the Slish Bowie has got to stay out. So now we're going into round 2, and we got some amazing knives here. Why don't we bring this down a little bit, get a little up close and personal, because this is hard. Now what are we going to cut out? I think it's going to be the Smock. I like it a lot. I love it's not as easy to get to the hole. It does have the peel ply. I do like the button lock thing, but yeah, it's going to the side. And that hollow is so good. Sage 5 is small, and using the compression lock on it, it's a little bit hard in my big hands, big, clumsy fingers and all that kind of thing. I can do it for sure, but yeah, it's going to the side. Endura held in there for a while. I love the Wharncliffe shape on it. It is kind of ugly-ish. I know people call them ugly, and the thing is that this thing is very useful the way it is. And I like it, but it is a lightweight. Wharncliffe's not my fave. But of course this guy's staying out. And it is kind of ugly, really, to be honest with you, but I love it. I love it in all its ugliness. So it's going to the side. So we're down to 6 now. 6 amazing knives. Gotta take a breath. Let me take a drink of water. We're gonna get there, guys. We are gonna get there. I'm forcing myself to the side. Sword. I think the military too. I like the length. I like the idea of the longer blade and all that, but it is a little bit clumsy for the fidget for me. Maybe it's just a matter of just getting used to it, but it just doesn't get in my pocket enough to totally get used to it. But I do love crew wear. I love having crew wear in the collection, and I love this knife, but it's going to the side. Now, 5. Yeah, okay. PM2. Okay, it's hard. It's hard. This is such an awesome knife. It really is an all-around awesome knife. And some days it's just my favorite. And in some ways, it's definitely my favorite. I just have fondness in my heart, my mind, my soul for this one. But it's going to the side. I have to do it. I mean, I can't not get through this. I gotta, I can't overthink it, or else I'll keep questioning myself. Boy, I think it's between these two. I don't know. It's getting harder. I love the Yojimbo. It is a big knife. It is a very big knife. These two are so good in their own ways. For one thing, this one does have the front flipper on it. I didn't realize that until I Faulkner 5'd this thing. And I go, wait a minute. Could that be? It works. Unbelievable. Gosh, I feel like I love the Shaman so much, and I feel like I almost feel like it's unfair in a way. This is a great knife. It feels good, but it's going to the side. Bodacious, great knife. It surprised me. It was definitely a big surprise when I got that one. I really like that knife. Yeah, okay, Yojimbo. Man, I want to get a Yojimbo too. I want to get it. I want to see. It does have the nub going on. I know you got other kinds of. Maybe this will be up for. I don't know how easy it is to get the Yojimbo scales, but I think a Spyderco is just so easy to get scales for. So maybe I'll do that sometime, because I think the plainness of the scale compared to these guys, I think that's part of it too. The blade shape is just wicked. It's just awesome, but it's going to the side. Oh, this is hard. So hard. I love these knives. These are such good knives. And I know a lot of people are just not into Spydercos, and you probably stopped watching this a long time ago if that's the case. Unless you'd like to see me agonize. This was a game changer when I got this knife. You know, I've always seen these like more expensive Spydercos and thought, you know, it doesn't even look like a Spyderco. But it is just such a well-made, I mean, the fit and the finish on this thing is just amazing. The clack on it, amazing. These scales are really very cool. This is funny because the Bodacious, you see, I had to grab it back up. They both kind of have that same kind of texture to it, where there's you feel this grippiness even though it's smooth. Man. Okay, stay over there. I'm trying to decide here. Man. But this one. I love this knife. I love the thickness of it, the weight of it. Man, that's such a good knife. I love this knife. Just the fit, the finish, just the feeling of quality in this knife. But it's going to the side. That's it, guys. The Shaman. I know it seems almost cliche to make the Shaman be number one. And, you know, it's not the most recent purchase. I think I got this in 2024. But it's still... And, you know, just having the 15V, which is going to be a steel that is going to be hard to get, apparently, from what I'm hearing. And the fact that it is just so dressed up, just to the nines. The CME is really, I really need to get more. I need to get more CMEs. They are really cool. Check them out on OCD for EDC. Get some Slick 'em All while you're doing it. I got to get some more. God, man, this is such a great knife. Number one. Number one, winner of the battle of the biggest brand collection that I have. That's saying something, guys. Saying something. The Shaman. And then, you know, just that it has a front flipper, just kind of, that's just frosting on top. Okay, enough talking. I hope you guys didn't mind me going so long. It's almost an hour, but gosh, I had to do it. You know, if you had to stop and go back later, because an hour is a long time just to sit and watch and look at knives. It wasn't long for me. It just flew by because I love these knives so much. But I'm done. Enough talking. Thank you so much for watching. Last brand battle, at least for this go round. We're going to get into collection. We're going to go through all the rest of the knives. So we still got a lot to do, but brand battles are done. So thank you for being along in the journey. I love collecting. I love people that collect knives, and I know you guys are all into it as well. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.